Hey guys, this is George from The Roman Show, and I'm here with, of course, former WWE superstar. Of course, I'm talking about the MLW commentator and also Lucha Underground commentator, and now new CCW Tag Team Champion. If you weren't here at Stars and Stripes, you missed one hell of a main event. Matt, congratulations first and foremost.
Thanks. It's never lost on me that every win matters, and as I get on in my career, there's so many great young talent coming up, and I always seem to run into them. But man, CCW has a great crop of guys, and I'm lucky that I had a great partner tonight to come out on top.
Oh yeah, and of course, lots of good things coming out of him. But let me just start with this: indie wrestling is no stranger to you, Mr. Stryker. You know, as a matter of fact, when you first started in this business, you were a school teacher and also an independent pro wrestler during your vacation time, of course, on weekends and so on and so forth. How hard was that to juggle?
You know, I guess when you have a passion for something, you don't look at it like it's hard. You look at it like, this is great. This is awesome. I slept for 3 hours. I slept in my car. I drove to Atlanta. You know, I slept holding a butter knife, which I used to sleep in my car holding a butter knife because I didn't know who was going to, but that's the dream. So it's not hard. It's a labor of love.
Oh, that's amazing. And you know, to add to more great news that's in your career right now, you're part of MLW, and they just announced their first ever pay-per-view. I'm talking about Saturday Night Super Fight on November the 2nd. Let me ask you something. I know you're in the commentary table and you also help backstage with the young talents. What does MLW have to do in order to pull a great pay-per-view, especially with like such a competition right now?
MLW has a great roster of wrestlers that you aren't going to see everywhere else. And also now with Jim Cornette and Rich Bocchini on the call, you really have finally the identity. I think MLW just keeps needing to do what MLW does. It's nice to have variety. It's nice to be able to choose. If you went into the supermarket and all you could choose from was milk, after a while you'd hate milk. Next thing you see is chocolate milk. You go, ooh, chocolate milk. You know, everybody has to have their preference. So I think MLW will be wonderful.
And of course, working with Lucha Underground, you also being a commentary there. A lot of people have been, you know, questioning, of course, where they are right now, especially with, you know, being talent being sent to Mexico, going to the WWE, going to AEW. Can you give us any insight of what's happening with Lucha Underground?
The beauty of pro wrestling, the beauty of Lucha Underground is that we can create stars overnight. We can take you and put you in a match with Vampiro, and the next morning, everyone's going to know your name. You'll be trending worldwide. So that aspect I'm not too concerned about. Lucha Underground needs to find a new home, maybe a new network, because there are still so many people that want to see what happens. So whatever's meant to be will be. And if Lucha Underground comes back, you best believe I'll be a part of it.
Any signs that we saw you in the ring today at CCW? Any maybe future signs that we might see Matt Stryker join into the Lucha Underground ring or even MLW ring in the near future?
Yo no sé.
Oh, you with the Spanish here in Miami.
¿Qué es esa mierda, oye? Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that?
You're allowed to say anything.
Never say never. For me, it's not lost on me that I woke up this morning. Everything else is downhill. There's people that had plans today and they didn't wake up. So there's an old saying, you want to hear God laugh, you tell him your plans. I make no plans. I just open my eyes and I give thanks, and whatever I can do to leave a lasting impression or a positive experience for somebody, then I've done my job.
And I have to throw this last question in, Mr. Stryker. I'm sorry. You know, bringing up about life. You know, to kind of break the third wall here. But you know, you saw me earlier speaking to, of course, Rebel about a close friend of hers, Matt Capatelli. I believe you worked with him plenty of times in OVW. You know, he was a great guy that not on a personal level and even on a business level, we lost a great guy to cancer. How did that affect you, you know, especially as one of his peers working with him in OVW? You know,
it's hard not to become numb to all these things that happen around you. But, you know, I always take time. And when I heard about Cap, I take some time by myself. And for me, it's not for everyone, but I go into prayer. That's just me. Call me crazy. I believe in a higher power of the universe. And I just find myself in prayer and just trying to put out a good energy to the soul so that Matt's soul will also have good energy. And that's how I cope with everything. I give everything to God because I'm not strong enough to handle it.
Well, mind you, he left a great mark on all of us on the personal level for you and business level with Rebel as well and fans like me. Did you ever think maybe, or has the offer ever been pitched to maybe tour with his wife to talk about the cancer, to fight against it and so on and so forth?
That hasn't come my way. There's so many great charities and people out there doing things for cancer, and I think positivity goes a long way. I think if you believe, you'll be surprised. But if you give up, no matter what it is, it doesn't have to be cancer. It could be depression. It could be obesity. It could be high cholesterol. If you give up, you lose. Mm-hmm. But if you fight and you stay positive and you create a positive energy, you never know what could happen. Miracles happen every day. And we are so self-absorbed, we're so busy looking at our phones or taking selfies or social media that we miss the miracles going on around us. And my grandmother used to say this to me all the time, God rest her soul. She'd say, honey, there's a whole world 3 inches up. We're all buried here and we're missing the world. So that's my answer.
That's amazing, especially coming from me. I suffer from anxiety and depression, so I thank you very much for those positive words. Mr. Striker, let me ask, for the ones watching this video now, for the ones who are suffering from depression, suffering from obesity, suffering from anxiety, suffering from cancer, is there any last words you could tell these fans watching right now?
There are things that I've gone through in my life that I don't speak about too often because they're mine. But if I could ever share the experiences to help people, I'm not ashamed to say right now, I was sexually abused when I was 9 years old by a stranger. I struggled with depression. I struggle every day with social anxiety. When I'm not Matt Striker, I'm the most quiet person in the world. But the thing is this, either you give it the power to beat you or you beat it. And I know it's not that easy, but if you just stay positive, and I'll say this to you as well, and I'll say this to anyone out there. On social media, I'm at Matt_Striker_. If you're ever going through anything at all, feel free to tweet me, email me, DM me. I promise you, I will sit and talk to you just because I know I'm making a difference. And I said it earlier tonight, and I'll leave you with this. I think it was Maya Angelou that said that people will rarely remember what you say or what you do, but they'll always remember how you make them feel. And I always want to be the person that tries to make someone feel okay. So whatever it is you're going through, you can hit me up and I'll be there for you and we can talk because sometimes that's all you need.
Amen to that, Mr. Striker. And you know what? I have nothing else. This is the man right here. This is the man.
You're the man.
No, we're both the men.
We're the men.
And you guys watching are the men too, or women, whoever's watching. But guys, this is George from The Roman Show with Matt Striker. Please catch us next time.